Welcome to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, the podcast for mums with an online business who are ready to take back their time, home, business, and self so they can restore the balance and thrive, both at home and at work, without feeling like they have to choose between the two. I'm your host, Sarah Dew, life and biz coach for mompreneurs. I'm also a mum, stepmom, wife, introvert, breast cancer survivor, and your mentor for making a change for the better. I've learned how to go from surviving to thriving and unapologetically create a business I love and the life I want for me and my family without worrying about what other people think. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Because being an unapologetic mompreneur doesn't mean that we're selfish or that we don't care about others. It simply means that we are not afraid to show up as our true, authentic selves, to step into our purpose, do what we know is right for ourselves and the ones we love, and take the steps we need to take to make our dream life and business a reality. Join me each week where I'll be sharing all of my best tips and strategies, plus the occasional dose of tough but gentle love to help you feel empowered, motivated, and confident to take action so that you can become the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. So, are you ready to unapologetically create a business and life you love? Let's do this. Hey there, and welcome to another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. In this episode, we are going to be diving into a few ways that you can be more visible in your business. If you struggle with a fear of visibility or putting yourself out there and doing all of the things to attract your dream clients, but you know that you need to be visible in order to make it happen, I have got your back because I have been there too. I have struggled with a fear of visibility, of imposter syndrome, and all the things. But I know that I need to put myself out there if I'm going to grow my business. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. A few strategies that you can use to help you share your gifts with the world with confidence so that you can attract your dream clients and make that dream business of yours that you have a reality. Even if, like me, you are an introvert and the thought of being visible absolutely petrifies you. We're going to get through this together, and I'm going to share the strategies that I have personally used so that you can do the same and you can be visible with confidence in your business. To know what they are? Let's dive in. One thing I have learned in the almost 7 years of having my business is that if you want to grow, especially if you're a service provider and you are the face of your business or you work one-on-one with clients, you have to be visible. Because if people don't know who you are and what you do, they won't know how you can help them. And so we need to put ourselves out there. We have to be visible. We need to share our gifts with the world. We need to share our offerings with the world so that our dream clients can find us. But sometimes that is easier said than done, especially if, like me, you are an introvert, you have a fear of being visible, you struggle with imposter syndrome, or reaching out and making those new connections isn't something that comes naturally to you. I have totally been there too. I have struggled with all of those things. And to be totally honest, I do still struggle with them, but I've learned that if I'm to grow my business, that I have to put myself out there. And so I have tapped into a few ways that I can do that sit right with me, that make me feel comfortable in doing it. And that's the ones that I'm going to share with you. So how do we do it? How can we be more visible so that we can attract our dream clients and grow our business? Here are 5 things that you can do to be more visible in your business, even if you are an introvert like me. The first is to show up. In the early days of my business, I would get so frustrated that I was not seeing the results I wanted. Even though I was working super, super hard behind the scenes, doing all of the things that I thought I needed to do and knew I needed to do in order to grow, in order to attract my clients, in order to grow my Facebook group, to bring in new subscribers. But I just wasn't seeing the results that I wanted. And so when I took a cold, hard look at what was going on, where I was going wrong, I realized that a giant piece of the puzzle was missing. I wasn't showing up. I simply wasn't showing up. I was doing all of the work, but I wasn't telling anybody about it. I wasn't telling people what I had just created. I wasn't sharing with the world my latest blog post. I wasn't sharing with the world the next bonus for my one-on-one coaching clients. I was creating all the things behind the scenes, but I wasn't telling anybody about it. And if you don't tell people who you are and how you can help them, how on earth are they going to find out? This was such a huge piece of the puzzle that was missing for me, and it took me a long time to realize it. And a lot of it stemmed from my fear of being visible, that I thought I was doing the right things by creating it, which is great. But if we don't tell people about it, they're not going to know that it is there. We have to shout from the rooftops what we have to offer so that people can find us, so that people can then question and take a look and ask themselves whether we are the person for them, whether we have got what we have is what they are looking for, and that we can help them get where they want to be. And so we have to show up. Once I started attending online and in-person networking events, once I started interacting regularly in Facebook groups where I knew my ideal dream clients were hanging out, once I started participating in things like bundles and summits and podcast guesting interviews, that is when I began to see rapid growth in my business. I had spent all that time doing all the work, but I wasn't showing up. I wasn't being the face of my business. I wasn't being visible and sharing and putting myself out there. And so, how are you showing up in your business right now? Are you like me in the early days of business when you were doing all of the things, but you are hiding behind your screen and you are not sharing your gifts with the world? You're not connecting and collaborating with others and doing other things with other people, of hanging out in Facebook groups so that people can find you and get to know how amazing you are and the amazing skills and talents that you have that are going to help make a difference in people's lives. And are you doing it on a daily basis? Are you sharing what you are having to offer on a daily basis? Because if not, now's the time to start doing it. This is one of the key foundations to being more visible in your business is showing up. Make a list of all of the different ways that you can show up and spread the word about what you do and build those activities into your working day and week. It could be going to a network event online and in person once a month. It could be hanging out in your Facebook group and sharing your story and sharing your client results and wins so that your members of your Facebook group can see how you can help them. And they may well be looking for the exact same results that you help your clients. But if you're not sharing that, they're not going to know that that is how you can help them. Make a list of all the different ways and build those into your day, working day and week. The second thing that you can do to be more visible in your business is to guest post for other people. A great way of being more visible in your business, especially if you are an introvert, is to guest post for other blogs and websites. I did this a lot in the early days of my business, and it was totally worth it. Guest posting not only showcases your expertise, but it also helps increase your social proof. And most importantly, it allows others that may not have found you otherwise to discover you. And that social proof is so powerful because if you are being published on somebody else's site, if you are being published on somebody else's blog, that person is already endorsing your gifts. They are already endorsing what you have to offer and that you are the go-to for that topic. Because if they are publishing that work, then they think you're credible. They think that you are worth it, that they think that you can help their audience. And that is giving that nod to their audience that may not have found you otherwise, that you are somebody that should go and check out. You are somebody that they should go and follow. That you are somebody that they should listen to and take advice from and even work with. Not only that, guest posting for others actually helps you grow your email list and your bank balance too. Most of the sites that you write for, they will allow you to share an author bio and a link back to your website or a link to your freebie. And when you're strategic about that, it can be pretty powerful by making sure of the sites that you reach out to are in similar niches to you, that have an audience that have a similar problem to what you solve. And then sharing your web link and your author bio and a freebie that is going to bring your dream clients in. That is going to help you grow your email list. And it's definitely worked for me because when I did that and I was strategic about what I was sharing, about who I chose to go and reach out to and pitch to guest blog post to, As a result, I welcomed so many new subscribers and Facebook group members into my world who then went to buy from me, but probably without doing that, they would never have found me. It's really powerful. And if you're just first starting out and you're looking for other ways of being visible in your business, but you're a little bit nervous and not sure if being on camera or going live or other things like that are ready for you yet or really fit right with you, guest posting is great because you can write your article. You don't have to be on screen. You don't have to show up. You can just submit that article, let the person that hosts the blog, hosts the website, do all of the work, put it out there, link back to you, and then others are able to find you and come and discover you. So if you feel like this is something for you, go make a list of all of the blogs and sites that are in similar niches to you. Who has a similar audience? What blogs do you like reading? What websites do you check out that you know you could offer and share and write an article for them that would fit with their audience and draw the right client to you? Go and find out if they accept guest articles and pitch a topic to them. Some might say no, but others will say yes too. So that is a great way of being more visible in your business, especially if you're just starting out, is guest posting for other people. And it's a win-win too, because they are always looking for more content. They don't want to be on a content creation hamster wheel all day long either. And so by you writing an article for them, they've got something valuable to share with their audience that is going to help them, and you get the visibility. It's a huge win-win. The third thing that you can do to help you increase your visibility is to be a podcast guest. Being guests on podcasts that are in your niche is a great way to increase your visibility and reach. And it can be so much fun as well. Yes, I have my own podcast, but I love guesting on others as well. It's super fun because you get to dive deeper into a topic that you're passionate about, a way that you can help other people, but you can share that with another audience who may not have found you previously. And just like guest blogging, it gives the podcast host content. It gives them something valuable to share with their world. And again, it brings in that social proof. And one of the plus sides is unless the host shares their interviews on YouTube, you don't need to be camera ready. You can show up in your pajamas if you like, and nobody would know. Another great bonus for visibility with podcast guesting, though, is that it is great for long-term exposure as well. We know what all the algorithms are like and the love-hate relationship that I have with Instagram and trying to fight and get that reach. Unlike social media, where posts are dropped by the algorithm within a matter of hours, and let's be honest, sometimes minutes, podcast episodes can be around for years. Plus, they show up in Google searches too. And research shows that more and more people are tuning into podcasts because it is easier to do, that they can do it when they're running around doing the housework, when they are in the car driving somewhere. It just makes it such an easy way to contain and to consume content without having to find the time to sit down and watch a video or find the time to sit and read a blog post. Podcasting guesting is super powerful. And if you've been pondering on having your own podcast, it's a great way to get started, to reach out and connect with other podcast hosts that have similar audiences in your niche so that you can connect and find your dream clients. Spend some time doing some research, because if you like the idea of speaking, but you're not wanting to be on camera just yet, and you're finding ways to be more visible and gain confidence, podcast guesting might just be the visibility strategy for you. But like blog posting, guest posting on other blogs and websites, when it comes to podcast guesting too, make sure you're strategic. Make sure you're not just reaching out to any old podcast just for wanting exposure. Make sure you are exposing yourself to the right audiences, that you are connecting with the podcast hosts that have similar audiences to you, that are looking for the things that they might be struggling with, that you can help them with, because then it is even more of a powerful win-win. There's no point going to a podcast that has nothing to do with what you are doing. So spend some time doing some research on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and make a list of the podcasts that you can pitch to and go for it. Go and check out their episodes. Go and see if they have got guest episodes already. Go and see if they are accepting guests by checking out their podcast page on their website. And if you want to be on my podcast, I am always looking for more mompreneurs with businesses and ways of how to go from surviving to thriving in their mompreneur journey and doing business and life on their terms without worrying about what other people think. And so if you have something and you are doing something in your business that is going to help the mums with businesses in my audience, I want to get you on the show too. You'll find the link to apply to be on this podcast in the show notes. And you can also go and check out my podcast page to find out more about the podcast and what it's about and how to get on the show by going to theunapologeticmompreneur.com/podcast. I would love to have you on the show. As much as I love guesting on being on other shows, I love having guests on my show too. It is so much fun. And then when you do podcast swapping and you're each on each other's podcast, it is incredibly fun too. So go and check out some of the guest episodes. If you want to get a flavour of what it's like to be a guest on the show, go and check out my YouTube channel and the podcast, and you can watch some of the interviews and see the kind of thing that goes on, and so that you can prepare yourself of what a podcast guesting spot would be like, and then think about what podcast you would like to be on and go and pitch to them. Like some of the guest articles for blogging, yes, you'll get some no's, but you'll get yeses as well, and it's a lot of fun. The fourth way that you can increase your visibility is Pinterest. Yes, it is a slow burn and it can take time for your pins to get traction, but it really is worth the initial upfront investment with the time, because just like podcast episodes and guest blogging, your pins on Pinterest can continue to serve you months and even years later. Whatever your long form content might be, whether it is blog posts or podcast episodes or YouTube videos, your freebies, your products, your services, when you use Pinterest to drive traffic to those things, it's a hugely powerful tool for increasing your page views, your subscribers, your sales, and your client base. Now, I'm just getting started on growing my Pinterest account for the Unapologetic Mompreneur because of my rebrand last year and getting my groove with the podcast and everything else. Pinterest is something I've kind of neglected for the Unapologetic Mompreneur, but I'm just diving back in and setting it up and getting it running again because I know how powerful it can be. Because my previous account, when I had a simple and contented life, before I rebranded to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, using Pinterest, just Pinterest alone, that would help me drive more than 15,000 page views to my website each month. And now, even though I don't have that website anymore, and I've moved and rebranded to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, Pinterest still continues to generate sales for my Etsy store every single week. I have an Etsy store that I'm not very good shouting about, and I need to share more, which you can find the link to in the show notes. But because I'm pinning to Pinterest for my Etsy store, for all of my digital products, for my planners, for all of my affirmations, my journal prompts, my journals, all of that I have on my Etsy store, having pins driving traffic to that generates sales for my store every single week. It is super, super powerful. If you're just getting started with Pinterest and you're not sure what to do, KL from Simple Pin Media has got a great free Pinterest mini course that can help you to get started. I'll drop the link to that in the show notes. But also, if you're looking for help getting started, go and check out her podcast too. That has got some amazing tips and strategies, and I listen to that one all the time. It is one of my favorite podcasts. But if you're not using Pinterest yet, you are missing out. Yes, like I said, it is a slow burn and it takes time for your pins to gain traction, but I promise you it is worth the initial upfront time investment, because just like podcast episodes and guest blogging, they will survive for months and do the work for you even years later. And they are found by Google too, because just like Google, Pinterest is a search engine. So if you're not yet using Pinterest, go add that to your goals and your strategy for visibility, because you really will thank yourself later. And then finally, the fifth way of being more visible in your business is to do what feels right for you. In true unapologetic mompreneur fashion, when it comes to being visible in your business, there is no right or wrong answer. Go and do what feels right for you. If a visibility strategy does not sit right with you, it doesn't fit your personality, or it fills you with dread, you don't have to do it. You know, by listening to this podcast, that I am all about doing things that feel right for you, that I am all about ditching the rules and the needs and the shoulds and what everybody tells you should be doing, and honing in on what feels right for you. because that is the secret to seeing success in your business. It's not about the next best thing, the next best shiny object thing that you should be adopting, the next new trending strategy. It has nothing to do with that. Just because a coach, a mentor, or someone you follow on Instagram is telling you that you should be doing something doesn't mean that you have to do it. It is your business and you get to call the shots. When you hone in on what feels right, when you learn to trust your judgment, give yourself permission to trust your judgment and do things in a way that works for you, that is when you will see the success that you are seeking and you deserve. So my question to you is, what feels right for you? Which of these strategies have got you curious and you feel like you want to try? And which make you say, no, thank you? Trust that, because you know what is right for you, and trying to fit yourself into a box or trying to do something just because everybody else is doing it, or trying to adopt a strategy of being visible that really doesn't fit with your personality, that fills you with dread, that gives you the EBGBs, you are not going to want to do it. You are not going to show up. And remember, that was number one in this of being more visible, is showing up. And if you are trying to fit yourself and do things that other people are telling you to do, but don't feel right, guess what? You're not going to show up. You are not going to do the things that you can do to grow your business by forcing yourself to do things that don't feel aligned. So of these 5 strategies, what feels right for you? What strategies can you adopt and actions can you do in your working day and working week to start showing up in a way that feels right for you? Maybe you want to try guest posting for other people. If you're not ready for video or podcasting yet, maybe writing guest posts and articles for other sites is a great way to get your message out there. Maybe you like the idea of being a podcast guest, so go and make a list of who you can reach out to, of who you can connect with and pitch to about being a guest on their podcast. Just remember to be strategic so that you're providing value to that audience, but you are also then reaching your dream client in their earbuds so that they can connect and say, yes, you can help me, and they can connect and with you and come and work with you. Use Pinterest. If you are not on that Pinterest train yet, go and get your ticket and get on it, because you are going to thank yourself later with that short term, that initial upfront investment, and the long-term gain that you're going to see by those pins driving traffic to your website, to your blog posts, to your content, to your podcast video episodes, your YouTube channel, all of your freebies to grow your list, to your products and services to help you grow your bank balance. Remember what I said about my Etsy store? Go and get on that Pinterest train if you are not already. But ultimately, do what feels right for you. Which of these strategies have got you curious and feel like you want to try? And which make you say no, thank you? Remember, trust that. And then spend some time thinking about what other strategies you could do that you've been curious about trying but haven't been brave enough to go and do yet. There's plenty more strategies that I haven't mentioned in this episode, and I'm probably going to do a follow-up episode with a few more strategies that you can try. But ask yourself which works right for you and what you want to do. And if you're trying to do any strategies right now that don't feel right, go ditch them. I have ditched a ton of visibility strategies over the year that I tried, that I didn't like, that didn't feel right for me. And guess what? By doing that and bringing in the ones that do, I am able to show up. I am able to do the things I want in my business in a way that feels right for me. And that is attracting my dream clients. That is bringing people in that resonate with what I am saying, that know that I can help them because I am showing up in a way that is right for me. So go do that. What feels right for you? And if you want to chat more about these strategies and about how you can make them work for you and your business, I am here for you. Go and book a bespoke power hour with me where we will sit down over Zoom, and within 60 to 90 minutes, I will help you dig into all of these strategies and all of the other strategies that I have tried over the years as well that I haven't shared in this episode. And I will help you decide which one makes the most sense for you, where you are at right now, both in the season of life that you've got with your kids, and also what feels right for you in terms of being visible, whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, whether you fancy video or you prefer podcasting or writing articles or taking part in bundles and summits. Whatever they might be, I will help you figure out what strategies make the most sense for you of where you are right now in your life and in your business, and help you devise a plan of action to make them happen. You will walk away from that session armed with that plan, with that strategy of what is going to work for you over your coming next academic year, term time roadmap, so that you can map out all of those visibility goals to fit with that term time of your kids in your business, so that you can go and get out there, share your gifts with the world, and attract your dream clients. And as a listener of this podcast, I am going to give you £100 off of your session. Regularly £197. You can book a bespoke power hour to dig into this visibility strategy with me for just £100 by using the code VISIBLE at checkout. You'll find the link to do that in the show notes. But whether you book a power hour or not, use these strategies and ask yourself what feels right for you. How do you want to show up in your business? What works for you? Go and do those. Go and build them into your goals. Go and build them into your actions for your working day, your working week. Set those goals and go make it happen. You have got this. Here is going from hiding to thriving in your business. And I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to leave me a rating and a review so that other mompreneurs can find this podcast too. Here's to unapologetically becoming the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now.